Hey guys, welcome to MotorcycleDen, and today we are talking about route planning. The very first thing that you want to do is find route planning software. Now there are some free ones out there. Harley even has some, and I've used it. I'm not a big fan. So I'm going to talk to you about the one that I use, and we'll get started. So I use MRA Route Planner. It's by My Route app. Now this is online. One of the good things about it is they also have an app that you can put on your phone, which is wonderful. You want to change something when you're out on a ride or whatever, you can do that. So we'll click on New Route. We will name it we'll just name it Test Route, okay, for simplicity, and click OK. Now this software has several different options. If you have the gold version of it, which I do, you can use Google Maps, which I use Google Maps default. I find it the easiest and to see things, to see the street names and everything like that. We like to ride in Kentucky a lot. We live in Ohio, but I am going to let's start out around Moorhead, Kentucky. So the very first thing that I do, you want to figure out how many miles you want to ride. Okay, it gives you a good idea on the size route you can make, and as you're planning your route, it'll tell you with this software and in most others, it'll keep a tally of the miles that you've planned already. So the second thing I like to do is you need to pick a meeting place. Now I like to pick a gas station. I try to find one that has plenty of room for everyone and a decent facility where you can use the restroom, pick up snacks, coffee, or whatever before you ride. I'm going to show you how I go about that, and I use Google Maps in a separate tab right along with the route planning software. I have Google Maps open, okay, and this is what it looks like. We have Moorhead centered here, and we'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so here's Moorhead, Kentucky. Now, I want to find gas stations that we can meet at. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with the area, this is a good way to do it. So we come up here in the search bar, type in gas, hit enter, and it brings up the gas stations in this area. Okay, so we're going to meet in Moorhead. Well, let's go with Shell. Let's pick Shell. Now I want to see if there's plenty of room for us to meet and what the facility looks like. So you click on that and it brings up a picture up here on the left. Yours may look a little bit different depending on the browser you're using or whatnot. But it'll bring up a picture, and I'm going to scroll down here and click on Street View. Okay, now this is the view from the street of that Shell gas station. So yeah, there's some area here and maybe over here or back here we could meet before the ride and gather. So I think that'll work out. They probably have a restroom in there. It looks like a decent sized gas station. So we are going to pick that as our meeting place. So I'm going back to my route planning software. Okay, and that was right here, I believe. Let's see, somewhere around here. Oh, there it is, Shell gas station. Okay, so I'm going to put a waypoint right here. Now The reason why I put it up here and not down here is because I start my routes after we're at the gas station and right before we get ready to leave. If I put it here and we're heading this direction, that waypoint is not going to be hit, and then I'm going to have to be trying to skip that waypoint as we're going. Now, something else that's good to know. If you have a big group, you'll want to be able to get out of places easily. Okay? Now, when we get out on Route 519, we're going to be making a left-hand turn on Route 60. Well, when you're zoomed out like this, you don't know what that intersection is like. But when you zoom in, it shows you that there is a traffic light. See right here? Shows you that little traffic light symbol. But say you want to see for yourself. You need to go back to Google Maps. So let's go back to Google Maps. Let's get out of this street view. Let's zoom in to this intersection and click right there at the intersection. Let's see, wait a minute. Sorry guys, I need to clear this gas station out of my search. So we'll just clear the search. Then you can come back down over to the map, click on the street, and down here it shows you a street view. You come down and click on that, and that is our street view. So you can definitely see there is traffic lights here. It's showing you 60 east or west. And there's a turning lane. That's going to work out great for us, guys. So that is how you can use Google Maps to find how intersections are, if there's traffic lights, turning lanes, or whatever. It makes for a great resource using Google Maps. Let's go back into our routing software. We have our waypoint there. Now, something I like to do, and it may seem, I don't want to say redundant, but it may seem like overkill, but right after every turn, I put a waypoint. Now, if you don't, your routing software wind up taking you on roads you do not want to go. So you want to make sure that you put enough waypoints in your route. It's very important. So we are going to be turning left on 60. So I'm putting a waypoint right after that intersection. And you see we have 2 waypoints now, and it's starting to keep track of our miles. It's 0.04 miles. I know that I want to ride down in this area here. Okay, so we're going back to Google Maps, and we'll zoom out. Okay, now I want to show you something here. Down in the left hand corner, at least it is on mine, it may be a little different, especially if you're using a phone or something like that. But you click on layers, or you hover over it. You may have to click on it on a phone, and you have some options here. Now I want to look at this terrain. Click on terrain. You want that on. Okay, that will show you elevation changes, which is very important for planning a route if you want to know what kind of area you're riding in. As you can see, let's zoom in a little bit here. As you can see, this is very hilly. Okay, very hilly in through here. You can see where the peaks and the valleys are, and where it's very steep by the darker colors. Leaving Moorhead on Route 60. Okay, we're gonna come down. Let's see. I love riding by water. I think we'll take this 801. Okay, so we're gonna come back to our route planning software. Oh, sorry, zoom in a little bit. Okay, we're on 60 here. 60 comes down. We're going to come down to 801 and put a waypoint. Confirm, yes. Okay, third waypoint. I like to zoom back out so I can see what's going on. Okay, now when we have a long stretch of road, sometimes I'll put a waypoint in between turns, just so that it don't try to take me on some back road or something like that. Then we need to decide, where are we going? We're coming down 801. Where do we want to go from here? Let's click back on Google Maps and let's zoom out a little bit. So I want to stay down in this dark green area. Let's take a look at this 1274. Let's come down here and see what it looks like to us. So I click on 1274 and up pops the road view, street view. We'll come down here and click on that. Now in this corner here you have this little man, okay? Now as I come up here and drag the screen around, you see there's a little arrow on that guy. It shows you what direction you're facing. We'll look this direction. So as you can, here is 1274. You can click on the road further down and it will move you along and you can see the view. So this is our view on 1274 and I am liking it. It's a good road. Pavement looks pretty good. So let's go back to our routing software. Okay, we're on 801 and we're going to go to 1274 and it looks as though it just continues straight on 1274, but we're going to put a waypoint there, right there, just to make sure that it continues on the direction we want to go. Okay, so now we have 4 waypoints. We have 17.57 miles as it says up here. Okay, so we're going to continue on 1274. Now, like I said, this is a pretty long road. So I like to put a waypoint, like see where it dips down here? I like to put a waypoint somewhere in this area maybe, so that it don't try to cut us across some back road or something. I'm not saying it will, but just in case. And I like to zoom in. That's a mistake some people make sometimes. They don't zoom in enough and then they get a waypoint on some road over here or somewhere else. So I'll zoom in, click on the road, confirm, and then zoom back out. You click and drag on the map in case anybody was wondering. Okay, so let's see here, and I do want to continue on down this area here. We'll come down by the Red River Gorge area. That's beautiful down there. So let's zoom in a little bit. So we're going to head down 36 and we put another waypoint right here and confirm. Now that looks like that could be a weird intersection and a left turn, so I want to check that out. Okay, so let's go back to our Google Maps. Let's click this back arrow in the left hand corner up here. Go back to the map view. Okay, now scroll over 1274 and 36. Let's zoom in. Okay, and click right there. Now remember, I say you can come down here and look at the road view or street view. Okay, so okay, the arrow is pointing toward 36. See that arrow down there on that guy? Okay, so we're a little far away. I probably should have clicked closer. Okay, so it is a stop sign. We're going to be turning left on 36. But it don't look too bad. There's room for bikes to pull up next to each other. I think we can get out. We are in a corner, but I think we can make it. And 36 looks like a good road. So let's go back to our routing software. We have the waypoint, so we'll leave that as it stands. And let's see where we want to go from here. Let's come down here to 460. Okay. So 36. And it changes to 460 right here. So we will put a waypoint. Confirm. Okay, we've rode 36.5 miles. Zoom back out. Now I want to go back to Google Maps and see how the area looks that we're in so far. So 36 and 460. Okay, now I zoomed out. We're still in terrain mode. This looks like a neat area right in here. Oh yeah, this right here. This is neat looking, guys. You can tell by the dark and light areas. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Let's check out this 77. Zoom in a little bit. Tell you what, let's check this out. Cause you can see how dark this is right here, so you know that's steep right there. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks neat, guys. So we're going to come down Route 77. So let's go back to our routing software. So we left off with our 7th waypoint. We're going to come along Route 60 here. Or 460, excuse me. And we're going to turn right on 77. Right here, so we'll put a waypoint there right after the turn. Now we're going to continue on down Route 77. We want to do a loop, so we'll just continue down Route 77 down to Route 11 and 15. Put a waypoint. Okay. Make sure that it stayed on 77 and didn't take us on a different road. But I am going to put a waypoint in there just to make sure it don't take us somewhere else. Okay. Click confirm. Okay, so it wound up knowing that that's our 9th waypoint, and then changed our last one down here to number 10, which is good. Go back to Google Maps, click out of the street view, and we are down here. I think we're going to follow Route, what is that, 15. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, 15. Now I'll tell you, it runs right along this Bert T. Combs Parkway, and that can be tricky when you're doing waypoints, because it'll try to jump you up onto the parkway. So let's go back to our routing software. Let's zoom in a little bit, and we will put a waypoint right there. Okay, now the reason why you're saying that's pretty close together, well, that's so I can keep it from trying to jump up on here on the Bert T. Combs Parkway. I'm going to put another one right here. Confirm. Zoom back out. I always zoom back out because it makes it easier to see. If you stay in zoomed up like that and you're trying to follow along, you lose track of where you're at. So I always zoom back out, and that way I can see what I'm doing. Put another one right here. Confirm. Okay, we're a little bit off the road, so let's move that back on the road a little bit. We are going to take 15 and come up to 746. Bring it all the way up. Back to 460 here. So this 746 comes off this 191 here. So 15, we're putting a waypoint, let's see, right past 15. Let's put it right there. Confirm. Wait a minute. Now see what happened here? Let's zoom out. See, I didn't put enough waypoints in, and it's thinking, okay, this mountain parkway is quicker. So, tell you what, I clicked on there and then drug it over to Route 15, but let's move that waypoint over a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're staying on 15. Okay, and we have one. Boy, let's see. I really don't want to do that. Tell you what, let's look at this intersection, guys. Okay, because it's trying to do something weird here. Okay, let's zoom out. Find out where we're at. 15, 746, Campton. Okay, let's zoom back in. And we're on Route 15 here. And I want to click right here. And let's go down to Street View. Okay, now which direction are we headed? Okay, we are headed north, so we need to spin this around to see how we're looking. We're coming from here, so there is a lane right through here. Just the routing software doesn't know it. So, we'll just leave it as is, but when we get here, we'll know that we can just continue straight. Make a mental note of it. We're going to continue up to 746. Now 191 changes in, well, once 746 comes off of it, so we're going to put another waypoint right there. Okay, and then zoom back out. Let's see, we're going to take 746 on up. Okay, now see how this 746 here comes up, curves around, and comes over here? Well, I'm going to put a waypoint about halfway through here. So let's zoom in. Drop another waypoint. Confirm. Zoom out, make sure. Staying on 746. We'll come on up here. 746, it runs into 460. And put a waypoint right there on 460. Okay. We've got 86 miles, almost 87. Okay, now we need to see where we want to go. Well, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to come on up here, and I want to look at this 1693. Now, some of these 4-digit numbers in Kentucky are some smaller rough roads, so I want to make sure that it's decent. So we are going back to Google Maps. Let's get back out of the Street View. Zoom out. So our 746 runs up here. Let's find where it runs into 460 at. Right here. Okay, here's 1693. Let's see what that looks like. Let's zoom in. Let's click on Street View. Come down to here. Click on it. Okay, now this is 460. And this is 1693. Yeah. It's paved. And so we'll click along this road a little bit. It's got lines on it, so that's good. Looks decent. Now something I do, now we checked it down at that end. Let's zoom out. I want to see what it looks like at this end right here where it connects to 1274. So about right here, let's click on it, go down to Street View, and it's still paved. Good deal, guys. So let's go to our routing software. Whoops. And zoom in. 1693. And we're going to put a waypoint. Confirm. Okay. So there we go. Come up to 460, 1693. Let's zoom out. And 1693 is going to run into 1274 again. I don't like to do this, but we're going to be on 1274 for a little bit, so we're going to kind of double up here. I usually try to stay off the same road, but for simplicity's sake, that's what we're going to do. So 1693 to 1274. Now, to keep from there being confusion, I don't want to add a waypoint to 1274 in the middle here. I'm going to put one right before our turn. Okay, right before our turn here. Click confirm, and then I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to go to the right here, 1274. Let's come up here because we're going to take 519. If I'm zooming out, back up here and end at the gas station where we met. I don't want to confuse this by putting a waypoint in here, and you can do that, and you might have to go back into your list of waypoints, like over here on the left, and you can change the order of things. Like you can click on one and drag it, okay, like I'm doing here. But I don't want to have to deal with that, so we're going to come up here and drop a waypoint here. Okay, and it's following 1274. We're going to come down here to 519, put a waypoint, confirm, back out, and yes, back up here to our first waypoint. We'll go to the Shell station right here, put a waypoint, confirm, and there you have it. 113-mile route. Let's zoom out, see the entire thing. Okay. Whoops. And that is our route, guys. There's your waypoints, and it does look like there's a lot in some places, but it's necessary, especially down in here when another road follows the road that you're routing. Guys, if you have any questions at all, I probably left some things out, but I tried to get through it without taking too long. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. This is how we plan our routes, and I really would appreciate a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you haven't already, we ask you please subscribe. It really helps our channel out, and it encourages us to continue making videos. So until next time, guys.